Grossout toys. We loved them because moms, sisters, and teachers hated them. Let's take a look at some toys that have some really stinky breath. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with another video. This is episode 2 of a series of videos I'm doing where we look at Grossout toys. Grossout toys were really big in the late 80s and into the early 90s, and they still hung around for years. Boys always loved to gross out little girls or gross out their parents, especially mom or the teachers. I mean, you can go all the way back to like the Little Rascals, Huck Finn and stuff, where they would put a frog in their pocket and show it to the girl, and the girl would freak out. Oh, you're nasty. Kids, or especially boys, but some girls too, really love gross out toys. And like I said, in the late 80s, they were on the rage. So in this series of videos, we're going to look at gross out toys. Now, this is episode 2. If you didn't see episode 1, we'll link it at the end in one of these boxes up here. And just to let you know, all shirts are still on sale for $13. I don't know why I said still. They just went on sale yesterday at $13. So if you want something for Black Friday or something, go get you a shirt like this Kenner shirt at junkmanmerch.com. Now, I've got that out of the way. What are we going to talk about? These toys were ugly. They were disgusting. And if just seeing them wasn't bad enough to upset moms or sisters or teachers, when you squeezed them, air came out of them with this god-awful breath. We're talking about the 1986 Breath Blasters. What a name, right? And right off the bat, these things started getting bad press. Started picking up in the newspaper about how disgusting they were. How don't buy them for your kids. Don't let your boys buy these and stuff like that. Which just added fuel to the fire. The more they wrote about them, the more us boys wanted to buy them. Even Ann Landers didn't like them.
Ann Landers sucks!
Having newspaper articles about how disgusting these are, if that wasn't enough to make you want them, well, the package made you want them. I mean, look at this. It says right there on the box, not intended to be used at school or public places. That just screams to a boy about 12 years old. Buy this, take it to school, squeeze it at the mall, wherever you go, squeeze this in everybody's faces. And you know that's what the toy company thought. We'll put this warning on it of where not to do it. That'll make kids want to buy it. And it did. These things sold really well. There were 6 different ones, so let's take a look at each one.
You think Rude Ralph is disgusting? Yes, I do. Then take a whiff of this.
Breath Blaster makes a horrible stink when you squeeze it. Death Breath, Dog Breath, and 4 other Breath Blasters from Axlon.
What next?
First up, we have Death Breath. Now, these boxes didn't really give a description of what the breath smelled like. You had to go by the name, and this one kind of has like a death smell. I don't know. Maybe it smells like a rotting corpse. I hope not. And these things were disgusting looking. I mean, it's bad enough the breath smelled really horrible, but they just looked like they stunk. And next up, we have a dog, and I'm guessing that the smell kind of had like a bad dog breath smell. Oh, you know, when a dog's breath is so hot and stinky, it makes you sweat when he just all in your face. Oh, and again, look at these things. They are ugly. Next up, we have one I would call Sammy Simmons because the name alone reminds me of a guy named Sammy I went to school with. George Garbage Mouth. The package said it's totally rotten, so I guess this is some kind of rotten smell. I don't know. I wouldn't want anyone to blow this in my face. As a kid, I would have loved these. As an adult, I would have hated if my son had them. I'm not going to lie. If my son was squeezing these in my face, although I understand the fun of gross out toys, I wouldn't have took it away from him. I wouldn't have got mad, but man, that's some stanky stuff. And then we have Mackerel Mouth. I'm not really sure what the theme they were going for this one here, what it would smell like. God only knows. I wonder how these things smell today if you squeeze it in somebody's face. You think they got worse with smell, or you think they kind of lost their scent? I'm not really sure. And another one we have is probably the female of the group, and it's probably the ugliest of them all. This might be the most disturbing, ugliest toy I've ever seen in my whole life. Miss Morning Mouth. Oh, that one just sends chills up my spine right there. You know this one has some kind of morning breath smell. Whew, that one's going to be rough. But this thing is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And believe me, I know about ugly because I've been on Tinder. And the last of these is probably the worst name of them all, Victor Vomit. I can only guess that his breath smells like vomit. Ugh. I mean, I don't get disgusted by toys, but all the toys that we're discussing, this is the one that's probably borderline for me. It's like, get these away from me. But Victor Vomit is probably the greatest name of them all. But, just the thought of this thing smelling like vomit is too much for me. You remember there was always a kid at school that would throw up, but another kid, if he saw somebody throw up, he would throw up too. I had that happen to me on the bus once. A kid saw a kid on the bus throw up, and then he threw up all over my arm, and it was all pink. And I was on my way to school, and I had to go all the way to school like this. Couldn't wash it off or anything. Didn't even have no napkins or nothing. I just had to all the way for like 20 minutes to school. It was disgusting. So can you buy these today? Well, on the secondary market, they're pretty hard to find. These things are rare. I looked on eBay, and there's only 4 of them loose for sale on eBay right now. And then I went to search sold, and I couldn't even find any on card that has sold. And the ones that did sell, there were very few of them loose, and they sold for between $60 to $80. So if you come across these, pick them up. They're pretty rare. And like I said, I am curious if the smell stayed with them. Did it get worse or did it get better? But as a kid, didn't you love stuff that smelled really bad? I remember we had these smoke bombs you could light, and they would just let smoke out, but they would smell like a rotten egg. And I can remember probably 7th or 8th grade, we had this big green machine behind the school. I don't know what it was. It had water in it and everything, but every once in a while, it would shoot out these little rocks. They were sulfur rocks. And you would take these little rocks. I don't know why they were in the machine at all. No one knows what I'm talking about when I talk about this. But you take these little rocks, scratch them on the ground or scratch them on the wall, and it would smell just like a damn egg fart. It was the worst god-awful smell you ever smelled in your life, and we loved this thing. The thing is, the green machine thing where they came out of was behind a barbed wire fence, so we had to climb in and get over the barbed wire fence, grab a handful of them. There wouldn't be many of them back there, and every kid in the neighborhood tried to get them so they could take them to school. We'd put them in our book bag and then sit in class and take one out and scratch it and hide it real quick, and they'd be like, okay, guys, get out your books today. We're going to learn algae. Okay. Who cut the cheese? Oh, they never found out who cut the cheese because it was just me and my little rock. And that's when I learned it was kind of like had something to do with sulfur. I would love to find what these machine things are today. And I don't understand where these came from. I don't understand why it was part of a green machine with water in it. I don't know. Anyone that's expert on plumbing or whatever know what this is. It's made a lot of noise. They had a fence around it. That's all I can tell you about it. And then probably right by the time I got to high school, I guess they figured, I don't know what happened. They replaced the whole thing and we lost our access to sulfur rocks. And I never did sulfur. Am I saying that right? Sulfur. Hope I said that right. Anyway, that's a look at, what's it called? Breath blasters. Oh. You can just imagine green, stinky smoke coming out when you squeeze them. That would have made it better if they could have made green smoke come out, but this is episode 2 of the Grossout Toys. Hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more in the series of Grossout Toys, there's a lot of them we can talk about. Share this video so others will see it. The last one didn't do that well, and I was like, maybe people don't want to see Grossout Toys. So if you like this one, thumb up so I know you like it. Share it so other people will see it, and the views and everything warrant. We'll do an episode 3 in about a month. Thank you for watching. Thumb up so you like my content. Subscribe to the channel. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.